What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day, another episode of the Daily Grind. I'm your host, 30NSG. Happy Veterans Day to those who serve the country. Appreciate you very much. Sorry about the echo at the tail end there. I don't know what's going on with OBS there. Something's double audioing. It looks like it's fixed now. Appreciate that. That new song that I put up there that you guys heard is called 50 Stars Strong. If you guys want to support the channel, I created. It's up on Spotify right now. It's also on our YouTube channel, which is 30NSG Topics. Which when they distribute it out, they make its own channel, so you can see all the songs that are on Spotify. They're on 30NSG Topic. You can check that out over there as well. Listen to it as much as you want. I'll be posting it on Twitter after the show, so other people can share it and whatnot. That's my gift to I never served. I have family in the service. So I figure why not make a cool song for the United States and for the people that served it. So I appreciate you very much out there. How's it going, chat? How's everyone doing? Travis, good morning. Jason, good morning. Big Mo, good morning. Altern, good morning. Aku, good morning. Kylo, good morning. Sarge, good morning. Robert Jones, good morning. Wonder Rose, good morning. PS5 blows, what's going on, man? Roic, good morning. Who am I missing? El Dente, good morning. Good morning, good morning. On today's show, we're going to be talking about Clair Obscur. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 gets snubbed at the 2026 Grammys. Assassin's Creed and Journey composer says he'd be happily trade places with the RPG. We also have Borderlands 4 has broken a depressing record on Steam, so we'll talk about that as well. We're also going to talk about Fortnite to add gambling in the future. Update leak reveals. So we'll see what that is. And then we'll have other topics as well. Arc Raiders just broke another record, and they shared some numbers, which is weird because when companies share numbers, that means they're actually excited for what they actually had a successful thing. Where other games that don't share their numbers didn't have a successful thing, but people like to defend those things. If you guys like what we do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We're live right now over on YouTube, 30NSG. We're also live over on Twitch. We are not live over on Twitter because issues happen. So we are on two platforms right now. We're multi-plat, guys. We're multi-plat. We're on YouTube and Twitch. So welcome. If you're over on Twitch, make sure you hit that follow button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a subscriber as well. Let me see what you guys are saying. Let's see. Mo says the song is approved. Vet approved. I appreciate that. I had fun making it. Let's see. El Dente says to give military members discount. That's what it is. Yep. Let's see. Oh, nice. You got the topic channel. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's weird. Like if you go to YouTube and you type in, it's weird. Here, I'll type it in. 30NSG topic. It's like it's a music channel, right? It's a music channel, and so like see it posted the new song, right? So you go to the topic channel and it has all the songs on there. So you can see all the songs on there. So really, I don't really need, I want to change this though. I don't like that it's called 30NSG topic, right? But it's a music channel, right? So all the songs that I've created, put up there are on there that are on Spotify. Well, at least most of them anyway. Yeah, all of them that are up there. I think even the album or just this, yeah, all of them are on there. So, because you got the album and then you got all the singles that I've done as well. So they're all on there. So if you guys want to listen to it over there, that's where you can listen to all the music that we've created. And I don't know how that works as far as does that channel get monetized? I don't think so. I have no idea. I'll be honest with you. What's going on, Mr. Luke? Yeah, I'm going multi-plat. Yeah. Was there a press release about that? No, there was no press release. No press release. I guess this is it. A multi-plat. Multi-plat. PS5 blows says I turned down the Helldivers music 50%. That music is loud. No, you know what's loud? Have you played Arc Raiders yet? PS5 blows. everything in that game is loud. Everything. Shooting a gun, explosions, everything is extremely loud. Extremely loud. You're like, holy Christ, like what is happening right now? What's going on, Water? Good morning. Water says, happy Veterans Day to all my vets that served. I will be trying to become a Space Marine myself. There you go. All right, so let's start with the first story that we got today. Clair Obscur, right? Before we even get started with this, last year, I thought, and again, we don't know the nominations or anything for the Video Game Award show, but last year, Hogwarts, or is it 2 years ago? 2 years ago, Hogwarts Legacy came out, right? And it didn't get nominated for basically anything at the Video Game Award show, but the Grammys nominated it for the actual music, which if you think about it, just think about this for a second. Regardless of what you think about award shows or whatnot, the Grammys is the highest tier of acceptance of if you're a musician and you get a Grammy, that's what you're going for. That's the Super Bowl, that's the World Series trophy, that's the Stanley Cup. That is their award for music, right? Hogwarts Legacy got nominated for a Grammy, but didn't get nominated for a video game award, which is like here's the actual award and then here's the video game awards, right? They're absolutely garbage, okay? So it's a much bigger deal to get a Grammy than it is to get a Jeff Keighley video game award, okay? And just to show how shitty the video game award show is about nominations, that the Grammys nominated Hogwarts Legacy, but they didn't nominate it for the video game award. Just think about that for a second, okay? Now, here we are. Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, okay, is a wonderful game. Beautiful game. I haven't finished it, but the music, the graphics, the gameplay, it's a game, man. It's a fantastic game. Clair Obscur 33 gets snubbed at the 2026 Grammys. Now, it'll be very interesting if obviously they get snubbed at the Grammys, but the Video Game Award show gives them, praise. Hopefully, who knows? Okay, but I would rather get nominated for a Grammy than for the Video Game Award show personally. As the Clair Obscur Expedition 33 gets snubbed at the 2026 Grammys, Assassin's Creed and a Journey composer says he'd be happy to trade places with the RPG. So Assassin's Creed apparently got nominated for a Grammy. Okay, it says that the 2026 Grammy nominations are live, and at least one recognized composer is disappointed to see Clair Obscur 33 shut out of the award's video game catalog. Okay, now the Grammys Record Academy just yesterday announced the nominations for all things music, including a category for Best Score Soundtrack for Video Games and Other Interactive Media, with recognized Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, Secrets of the Spire, Pinar Toprak, Helldivers 2, Wilbur Rocket, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Star Wars Outlaws, The Wild Card, Pirate's Fortune, COD Matthew Johnson and Wilbur Rocket, and The Sword of Sea, Austin, the 3 movie adaptations, if anyone's keeping track. Okay, but Sword of the Sea composer, Austin Wintory, and the 3-time Grammy nominee behind Journey, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Assassin's Creed didn't get nominated, thank God. Okay, and the Banner Saga had mixed feelings about the honor. Okay, so congrats to all my friends and thank you for recording the Academy for including Swords of the Sea in the 26 Grammys. The tweeted after the noms came out. He says, I'm sad of the lack of Expedition 33 among them. Okay, I would happily trade places to score the definition of worthy. Okay, the Expedition 33 snub is notable because Sandfall Interactive RPG is one of the very best reviewed games of the year. But even outside the gaming landscape and soundtrack composed is topped at the Billboard Classic charts of top 10 entry weeks, or top for 10 entry weeks. Not to worry about, based on the how the game creator of Final Fantasy VII about the French RPG almost definitely receives some accolades by the end of the year, which of course they will win other awards if it's the Golden Joystick, if it's the BAFTA, if it's other stuff. But I mean, I thought Indiana Jones, again, look at these pictures, check these names out right now. Secrets of Spire, Helldivers 2, Indiana Jones. First of all, I don't know if Helldivers 2 should be nominated this year, considering it came out in 2025. 2024. So it's a little weird considering that Avatar came out in 2024, Helldivers 2 came out in 2024, okay? Indiana Jones came out in 2024, but also came out past the deadline of it, so that's why it's in this one. But Helldivers 2? right? This is why I hate when you talk about award shows and what the criteria is in certain things. Helldivers 2 came out in February of 2024. And yet, for some reason, Helldivers 2 is nominated for this year's Grammys, which makes no sense. Okay? Expedition 33 should be taking a place of at least Helldivers 2. And I'm not saying Helldivers 2 doesn't deserve it. What I'm saying is Helldivers 2 should have been nominated for 2024's, or I guess this is 2026 nomination, so it should have been nominated for 2025 Grammys, not the 2026 Grammys. But I don't know. It's kind of weird. Maybe the cutoff date is cut off. You know what? Let me look. Let me look what the cutoff date is. What's the cutoff date for Grammys? Let's see. Cutoff date for the Grammys. The deadline for 2025 Grammy Awards online entry process has passed for the upcoming 2026 Grammy Awards. The online entry process will be open on July 16th to August 29th of 2025. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. Helldivers 2 shouldn't even be in the conversation of 2026 Grammys, because the cutoff date is literally, right? So the consideration of eligibility period for 2026 awards runs from August 31st, 2024 to August 30th of 2025. Right? So some of the games that are in this category shouldn't even be in this actual category, but, whatever. This is why I don't like all these award shows, right? They look at certain things, they snub other people. So by that factor, does Expedition 33 make next year's 2027 Grammys? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Expedition 33 should get nominated for a Grammy along the other ones over here, right? There's always going to be one that always gets dicked out of something here, right? And it's different if it's like tough competition, but it's also different if a game that should have been nominated last year, Helldivers 2, right? It's good music, so why did they not get nominated last year for a Grammy? Makes you wonder. All right, because the cutoff date, they made it. They made the cutoff date for last year, but they weren't nominated last year. But these are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. This should be the moment of silence at 11 a.m. today to symbolize guns stopping. Well, if you want, Sarge, we could do that. You let me know in 45 minutes. In 45 minutes, when it turns 11 o'clock, we will take a moment of silence. We'll take a moment of silence. If YouTube's acting up, I don't know what to tell you, because it looks like it's thinking on my side. It says excellent condition, but I don't know. It might be something happening. Water Bear says Expedition 33 shaft incoming. You bet your ass. You don't think the Game Awards is going to nominate them, huh? Is that what you're saying, Water? You don't think Expedition 33 gets nominated for Game of the Year? Man, that'd be weird. Sarge says wrong pick. Shouldn't be a choice. Sorry, Helldivers. Yeah, Helldivers should have been in last year's Grammys. Expedition 33 and Yote possibly. But to be honest, I say Yote has a better chance to get nom because it's a bigger title. That, and it's also part of Sony, right? Sony always has at least one game in the running, which I'm not digging on them, right? It could make it. Like I said yesterday to you, it wouldn't surprise me if Yote made it. I just don't think it makes it because of all the other games that came out this year. But we'll see. We'll see. Again, I don't care who gets a win. I think the nominations is a big thing for those companies. Eclipse says, and all the Indiana Jones is the movie soundtrack. It's already got rewards. That's also true. That's also true. But the movies are different than music, right? I'm sorry. Movies are different than music. That didn't make any sense. Movies are different than video games. It's a different medium, and they have a soundtrack there. And I don't know what song. Is it the whole soundtrack, or is it the one particular song that got nominated? Let's see. Let's not give the Grammys so much importance. Here's where I'll disagree with you, Jason. Okay? When you are a musician, when you are a director, when you are an actor, when you are a sports athlete, this means absolutely nothing to the people that are spectators, okay? That are spectators for these things. You watching a movie, watching a show, listening to music, okay, watching sports, them winning the fucking Super Bowl or them winning a Grammy means absolutely nothing for you, the viewer. But it means everything in the world for the person that's winning those awards amongst their peers, which they're all competing for, okay, so they can get their next job and get their next paycheck and whatnot, right? So yes, it means absolutely nothing of importance for the people that are watching the Grammys or watching the Oscars or watching the Super Bowl, but it means everything to the person that worked their entire life to get to that position so they can actually have a chance to win and be amongst the best of the best in their craft. That's where I'll disagree with you, okay? 100% for the everyday average person, those awards mean absolutely nothing. But it means everything to those people that are in that category. It doesn't matter if you work for a printing press and they give you the best salesperson of the printing press. You've got the most sales, everybody, and they reward you to show their appreciation and be like, hey, you're the best salesman we have, right? Which comes with things. Like, hey, you did this thing, so we're going to give you a reward. We're going to give you a cash bonus. That's how it's supposed to work, bro. What's how it's supposed to work? People working their ass off and getting voted for within their peers. That's exactly how it's supposed to work. Right. I don't give a shit that Tom Brady won that many Super Bowls, but guess what? Tom Brady fucking cares that he won that many Super Bowls because he's the best of the best. Robert Jones says the stream has been fine this morning. Okay, cool. Let's see. Winning a Grammy is everything for those in the industry. Exactly right. Exactly right. Yote does not deserve Game of the Year nomination. It did nothing different than the first one, just some more stuff to do in the open world, and that's it. Again, me and Sarge talk about this. We don't know what the criteria is, Eclipse. Right? Is it innovative? Is it supposed to be for sales? Is it supposed to be for fun? Is it supposed to be for the tech that they use for it? We don't know. Nobody knows. Altern says, now, will it be weird if those games are not nominated in the Game Awards show, right? That's why I was bringing it up before, right? Hogwarts wasn't nominated for Best Music in the Video Game Award show, but it was nominated for a Grammy, which is much higher in that tier, right? So if these specific games were nominated for Grammys, but they're not nominated for the best video game or movie soundtrack or whatever, or game soundtrack, something's off. Something's off, Altern. It says Ray says Astrobot won because some old fart saw Easter eggs from old ass games in the game. I don't know if that's true, but yeah. I'm currently playing it now, over 45 hours. I haven't beaten it. Yeah, that's what I'd say. Maybe it was a great game. I didn't play it. It seemed like a fun game, right? I can never tell you that this game is better than this game if I didn't play both, right? I didn't finish Expedition 33, okay? But doesn't mean that the game shouldn't win Game of the Year. I think if it should win Game of the Year. It's a fantastic game. But I also think Split Fiction should be nominated and also Game of the Year, because I played that and that was a fantastic game. But I also didn't finish Expedition 33, but the 20 hours I put into it was fantastic, right? And I can see them, if they win that, then that would be fine. Sarge's giving me homework. We got to come up with new names for the corporations so I don't get bopped every time we talk about these corporations. Waterbear says, I'll say this. I love Tsushima, okay? And I'm loving Yote. Both are good. But what Eclipse is saying, though, Water, what Eclipse is saying, and I'm asking you because I don't know, does Yote go above and beyond what Tsushima did in that game? Or is it just more of the same type of stuff? That's what Eclipse is saying. Eclipse is saying they've done nothing different. Is there new mechanics? And I'm not talking about the fucking bamboo shit that you're like cooking food and stuff like that, right? Because that doesn't bring you to the next level. Does it change what the first game did? Does it, as we always say, Tsushima's here. Does Yote at least hit the bar of Tsushima? And does it surpass it in ways? It's definitely different mechanics. The open world is vastly different. Can you give me an example? Again, asking, not trying to throw shade in any way, shape, or form. Can you tell me something that Yote does that's vastly different that you're like, oh my God, this is next. Like, so going forward, from this point forward, any open world game needs to hit that bar of Yote. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the new standard. They hit the Tsushima standard, and now they went above, and now this is the new standard. Do they do that? Mo says, yo, Mike, you know I love Split Fiction. Expedition 33 is above that after beating both better in the least nominated. And I agree with that, Mo. Like I said, I'm not saying that Expedition 33 can't beat Split Fiction. What I'm saying, Mo, is that Split Fiction should be nominated for Game of the Year is what I'm saying. What's going on, P-Wolf? I don't care who wins. I'm just saying that Split Fiction needs to be nominated for Game of the Year. That's what I'm saying. Jason says, I haven't really played any of the nominated games, so my Game of the Year would be Rivals. Right. There's a difference between what should be and what my picks are, right? I've played different games. I haven't played all the Game of the Years. Check out the gameplay footage from Gameplay. It's about a minute long. I posted in general. All right, let me look at this. Let's look at this. You posted it this morning, right? That one? Are you playing this on PC or are you playing this on PlayStation? Oh, no, it has to be PlayStation. You're playing this on I'm sorry. Are you playing this on PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 5 Pro? My question for you right now, Water, just looking at it, this doesn't seem anything different from Tsushima. Like the NPCs all waiting to take turns to fight you. Like, for instance, what Batman did way back in the Arkham, okay? Again, this is not a Sony thing versus this thing, right? It's just in general, what Batman did back then is much better than what I see right now. I know they're two completely different games. So I look at this and I'm like, this impress me more than what the other games have done in the past? And I'll be honest, I'm looking at this, and these graphics, I'm not saying they're shit, but the character models look a little. You know what? Let me bring up Ghost of Tsushima on PlayStation 4. Right? I don't want to pick out I want to see gameplay here. I want to see. It's got to be PlayStation 4 footage. This is 5 years ago. So this is before.
Change of pace from the many action RPGs that opens them up to often fatal blows.
Okay, let me make sure. This guy's stuff looks oversaturated for sure.
Jin has 4 different combat stances, each of which boast techniques and
This looks oversaturated as fuck.
that are effective against specific
I don't know what this. Hold on. This guy's stuff looks oversaturated. I don't know if he did something to his actual video. Like, what is happening there?
Nobu, Sora, or Kage.
I just want a fight sequence.
Jin.
I just want a fight sequence. Give me a fight sequence.
Any recommendations for good samurai films? I would love to hear them. Because I must say I haven't watched that many, and I would love to. I watched a really good YouTube video the other day that it was show you real quick. Just for that.
Is there fighting going on anywhere?
And I mean, just the world is just so nice looking. Like, you can see why people are gonna have a ball in photo mode. Is that selected? Yeah, it is. Okay, fine.
I'm trying to find a fight sequence.
This. Let's see if we can.
No, she's shooting.
Hello.
She's shooting stuff, but I want to see people fighting. I want to see the difference between what you just showed me.
You can get like that
From a 5-year-old game.
Quest. I haven't really decided how long.
Why is everyone
to go
dead
for,
already?
So I'm easy if you sword. Please drop stuff. You hey now. Give me that. Oh, you fucking prick. Nope, not that. That is quite annoying. The contextual controls mean that sometimes if an item drops next to a door or a ladder or something like that, you're like, nope, didn't want to do that actually. Wanted to pick up the thing.
I don't know. I'm trying to find the actual. I'll be honest with you. The clip that you showed me and what I'm seeing here. Okay, here we go.
It's definitely like it's funny in games like this. Like it's the same in Assassin's Creed and stuff. I think that
How is what you showed me different than
when you
this?
get a little bit later into the game and you unlock more stances, it's quite difficult when you only
From a game
have,
perspective, I'm not talking about graphic
like,
wise.
the most basic
From a game
commands,
perspective,
because you can't, you know, sort of.
like the fighting in this game looks just as good as what you just showed me. Right? So where is that? Again, just what you showed me. How is the combat that you showed me different than that I'm seeing here? You have to play it. There's a difference. I guess fair. But visually it looks, again, not talking about graphics. We're talking about the actual like fighting mechanics that you showed me compared to. Let's go on, Roadkill. I don't see a night and day difference of the combat that they've gotten from Tsushima to Yote visually. Now, obviously, graphic wise and the bigger maps and stuff like that, cool. I'm just talking about specifically what you showed me compared to what we just found for a group of people fighting the person. It almost looks the exact same. Is Twitch chat on? Yes, dog, it is. Yeah, in about 30 minutes, we're going to take a moment of silence for Veterans Day. At 11 o'clock, we'll do that. All right. So from Clair Obscur to the next story. If you guys like what we do this Monday through Thursday. Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We just cover news stories, have conversations. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Zyber Sword says, I believe it's the same combat system with just more weapons, choices, and great game, though. Yeah, I'm not... Zyber Sword, I want to make it clear. I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that Yote is not a good game. It hasn't come out of my mouth. I don't know if you just got here. Water Bear sent me a video of him playing the game of the combat. And my question was, does Yote, right? Because people that come to my channel all the time, I always talk about, if you make a sequel to something, like you've set the bar to your game, whatever that bar is, okay? The sequel that you come out with has to hit at least the bar. This also goes for other games in that genre, right? If you make an open world game and your open world game doesn't hit the other company that made an open world game that had all these quality of life things and it comes short, then it's not as good as this game over here, right? So we're just comparing Tsushima to Yote now. Does Yote hit the bar of what Tsushima did before it? And does it surpass it with the sequel, or does it just hit the bar, right? He showed me some fighting that he posted. I look at the fighting. It looks just like any other fighting. We went back to look at Tsushima's fighting sequence, and they almost look identical to me, right? So is the mechanics that much better, or is it just the same? And it's not a bad thing if it's the same, if it's at the same part of the bar, right? At least they hit the bar. That's my thing, because we're talking about going down the rabbit hole as far as, does Yote warrant a Game of the Year nomination compared to what Tsushima did? And Brain Eclipse in chat was like, it doesn't do anything different. It's just what it is. Water Bear came in and said, you have to play it. You haven't played it. You don't know. It feels different. So this is where we are in the conversation. Cybersword says, I was listening. I agree that Yote is not drastic change from the first one, just a graphic improvement. I was in agreement. Okay, yeah. So I was just going down the rabbit hole of what we were talking about, because I don't know when you guys were listening or not listening. Jason says, if it was on Xbox, Mo would be praising it. Probably. Though I guess there will be a day that happens, right? Yeah. Sweat Dog says, I wish I hadn't bought Borderlands 4. Why? What's wrong with Borderlands 4? I thought it was fun. I thought people were having a blast with it. Waterbear says, if it was up to me, your Expedition 33 would get a nom, but you know how the industry goes. It might probably get snubbed. Somebody's going to get snubbed. Somebody's going to get snubbed if it's Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, if it's Split Fiction, if it's Yote, if it's Expedition 33. There's way too many games right now that are in the running for Video Game of the Year, right? Video Game Awards Game of the Year. There's going to be 1 to 2 snubs, and no matter what gets in for the top 6, someone's going to be like, this game got snubbed. It's going to happen. Cybersword says that Yote will not win Game of the Year, but will it get nominated? Do you think it'll get nominated in that spot, the 6 spots that I have for nominations? PlayStation 5 blows says Yote is just some more Unreal Engine 4 slop holding back gaming. I mean, I don't know where you're going with that, but okay. Travis says 30. Luke Stevens' video I sent you is interesting, talking about one of the big peeves in gaming now. Well, if we have time, I'll look at it. Dog says, I was hyped. I was hyped so much, I never got to play the others as everyone dropped like a rock. Then people just farmed bosses, and the hype of players playing it decreased. But why does it matter if the masses, dog, leave Borderlands, right? Are you mostly a solo player? Do you play with your friends? Do you play with other people in just public lobbies and like in and play the game with them, like randos? Because I've always been a person that I don't care if it's the popular game or not. I'm going to play it. Like last night, I'm playing fucking Lord of the Rings Return of Moria with Aku, right? Like, I don't care if it's a popular game. I'm going to play a game that I want to play because I like playing the game. Like, if Borderlands 4 is a good game, cool. We're about to talk about it because here we are. I don't know what this article is. We always read articles and give you my thoughts and opinions on it as we read it. PS5 says, I'm sick of Unreal Engine 4. Everything looks and feels the same now, to elaborate. All right, I see what you're saying. Aren't we on Unreal Engine 5 now? Cybersword says, should not receive a nom, in my opinion. Too many other great games that deserve the spot. Right. But then what happens is someone might be like, oh, well, they paid for it. That's what it is. Look, say what you want. PlayStation is always in the running. Sony always has games in the running for Game of the Year. At least in the last decade. Well, Roadkill, when you start name calling, it just shows you how retarded and stupid you are as well. Because you can't defend anything instead of calling someone retarded and stupid. Right? Like, calling someone retarded and stupid because they don't agree with you is fucking retarded and stupid. All right, let's see. No, on this one, Roadkill is correct. I don't think you're correct anytime you call someone retarded and stupid. Oh, I'm okay using the words, Roadkill. I'm just saying when you talk to somebody and like a conversation goes back and forth, when you start insulting people, you've lost the battle. What's going on, Makoki? Nice to see you. Something has happened in the gaming industry. Even games that pop off only lived in the spotlight for a short amount of time. Too many games, not enough time. What do you think is happening? I think exactly what we've said this all the time, Makoki. Me and Sarge talk about this all the time on the podcast. Let me take the story off the screen because we're not talking about that yet. Right? We talk about this all the time. Right? We've been saying it for years on Generation X Gaming that there's not enough time. Everyone's fighting for your time. I've used my example for my YouTube content that I do, right? If you choose to be here for 1 minute, 1 hour, right? That's time that you're dedicated to me, okay? So video games are all setting for that time. There's way too many games. Last year on Steam alone, there was 18,000 or 19,000 games. That's just on Steam, okay? People are not buying as many consoles are going out there. Okay. There's still a lot of consoles, but there's still only 250 million or less because people have multiple consoles. Okay. There's not enough people. More games are more open world. It takes longer to beat certain games. Someone that buys a game, only 2 to 3 games by a year per person on average. So when someone's putting 40, 50, 60, 100 hours into a game and they work a 40-hour job, they're only playing 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe 5 hours a week on average. And if they play 100 hours, that's a lot. That's a lot of weeks going by. That is the problem. There's so many games coming out, not enough time. We all have the same amount of time, right? Then you put it into perspective of now I'm paying $80 for a video game or $70, $80 for a video game. So someone's buying a video game and they feel like, well, I don't want to buy another $80 video game because I haven't finished this $80 video game yet. So I think that's it. I think there's too many games. I think a lot of the games that are coming out are broke, buggy, unfinished. We always talk about the outliers, like an Expedition 33, like a Baldur's Gate 3, right? Still had little issues here and there, but for the grand scheme of things, these games weren't broke, buggy, and unfinished. But then you have games like Battlefield 6 taking your time, Call of Duty taking your time, free-to-play games like Fortnite or Marvel Rivals taking your time. So there's a bunch of stuff of why it's happening. I played Expedition 33. I played Split Fiction. I played Blueprints. I can see any of these games making the nomination for Game of the Year for those 3 examples, Water. Let's see. Jason says, I want Donkey Kong to win, honestly. The salt would be great. Oh, you just want Donkey Kong to win because you want to see the world burn, Jason. You want to see the world burn. That's fine. That's why I don't care who wins. I want to see nominations because I think certain companies, it's nice to get them on stage so they get more sales. That's why I kind of like the underdogs of the story. Sweat Dog says, yeah, gaming in such a state, no games seem to have great longevity like they did, or am I getting old and grumpy? Well, there's a difference. Like right now, the new car smell is Arc Raiders. Everyone likes Arc Raiders. But let's be honest. December comes. Let's say one update comes out and just like, it's just more Arc Raiders. People are like, oh, did you see this new game that came out? And they'll move on. Does that make Arc Raiders a bad game? In Travis's eyes, it's already a bad game. But does that make it a bad game because it lost interest? No, because it made sales, right? They've sold over 4 million copies in just over a week and a half, right? That's not successful game, especially since if Ghost of Yote supposedly sold 4 million copies now in over a month, then that would be a successful game based on the budget, right? So if Arc Raiders is selling and Battlefield 6 sold and Call of Duty sells, they just have to get to the finish line. The finish line is the release date. And if they get 7 million, 8 million, 10 million people to buy their game, that's a win for the company. What they do after that, they don't care. They got your money up front. What's going on, Ashraf? What's going on? Feels good. I just spent $38 Canadian on Game Pass Ultimate. I almost feel guilty. He's like, oh, I feel gross. Enjoy while you have it for the month, whatever. The new price makes you really think twice. Sure. But if so do you feel guilty when you don't watch a show? Obviously it's cheaper, but do you feel guilty when you play, like you watch Netflix? You don't have Netflix at all. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, there's a show or Amazon Prime, and you get Amazon Prime or Netflix for that month, and you watch as much stuff as possible and then cancel your membership. It's the exact same thing. Get your money's worth while you have it. PS5 says, Jeff DM'd me. Kojima wins Game of the Year. Yeah, in about 15 minutes, we are, Sarge wants to make sure, attention chat, at 11 a.m., we will be having a moment of silence and ending World War I and asking you to send a flag or origin to represent on all those involved. So at 11 o'clock, we'll have a moment of silence. Sweat Dog says, I bought hardly any games this year. Less than I've ever have. What games did you buy this year, Dog? I've bought a lot of games this year. Smaller ones, bigger ones. Eclipse says, I've been keep hearing news about Dune. Like, who cares? It's the best-selling game they've ever had. That's all they care about. Exactly right. It made its sales. If no one's playing it, they've already made their sales. Roadkill says, I'm just buying silver and gold. Still up almost $100 an ounce. Or almost 100 ounces of silver and over an ounce of gold. Nice. Smart, Roadkill. You are not retarded for doing that. That's right. You are not retarded for getting silver and gold. Travis says, 30 guy, here's a real question. Do they announce a date for Exodus? That's my GTA 6. Yeah, at the Game Awards, I think they would. Right? I think they would. Swat Dog says, WWE 2K25, Borderlands 4, Arc Raiders. Okay, it says 2 of them I regret, which would be, what, Borderlands 4 and WWE 2K25? Or do you regret Arc Raiders? All right, let's go to this next story. Yes. No, I like Ark. Okay. All right. If you guys like what I do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We just have conversations, read stories, give you my thoughts and opinions on the article. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. I don't know why my side, you guys say it's okay. On my side, my stream constantly is stuttering for some reason. It says Borderlands 4 has broken a depressing record on Steam. Just 2 months after launch, Borderlands 4, has it been 2 months already? Dear Lord. Just 2 months after launch, Borderlands 4 has officially reached a lower player count on Steam than its mainline predecessor did in the same amount of time. That is pretty depressing, huh? Randy Pitchford probably wants those words back where he says hard sale. Right? It's going to take a really long time to go on sale. According to Steam charts, Borderlands 4's 24-hour peak player count on November 10th, 2025, only 2 days shy of its 2-month anniversary, was now just under 20,000. Well, that might not sound like a high number than compared to its all-time peak at launch. It significantly dropped. Okay. To some players who are currently unhappy with the state of Borderlands 4, this may come out as no surprise despite its live service trappings. The latest Borderlands title has struggled to keep fans interested in long term. But what makes Borderlands 4's latest Steam player count such a big deal is that not just how low it is, but how much of the player base of the game has lost since launch in comparison to the number pool on the mainline entries that came before it. Well, this is interesting. Again, they already made the sales. Now, I'm assuming the player base is not happy with Borderlands 4 because of whatever the fixes they had to do, but this is your own fault. This goes for anybody buying video games across the land, okay? Make sure you do your research. Stop falling into the traps of a content creator playing the game, hyping it up for you. You're like, oh my God, I'm going to have so much fun. And yet you don't have that much fun. You don't do what they do, okay? Because they play with other people. They make it seem like it's nice and fun to do, right? It's like those brochures where you see like 4 people having fun on the beach. Then you're like, oh man, you book your trip, you get there, and you're not having a good time. It's the people you're with. It's the things that you're doing, okay? So Borderlands 4 had problems. And they told you about the problems, but no one wanted to listen, okay? Nobody wanted to listen. Everyone bought it because of the hype. They're like, oh, man, I loved Borderlands 1 and 2, okay? Borderlands 3 was good, 5 years later. Now Borderlands 4 comes out, and people are buying it because of the hype of other people, right? Buy what you want to buy, but if you're going to complain about it afterwards, that's on you for being a bad consumer. Be a customer, not a consumer. There's a difference. Customers buy things that they like. Consumers just consume. They don't actually like the thing that they do. They get tricked to buying it, or they get, what's the other word? Convinced to buy it. So Borderlands 4 has lost more Steam players in 2 months than its predecessors did. As of November 10th, Borderlands 4 24-hour peak is 93% loss in Steam player count in only 2 months. Taking into account the series' past player counts, this means that the latest entry of Gearbox's beloved franchise has lost over 10% more of its player base than Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 3 did in its first 2 months. Okay, Borderlands 4 all-time peak, 304,398. 2-month peak, 19,804, and 93% loss. Borderlands 3 all-time peak, 93,820. Look at the difference. Do you see the sales difference? Now, obviously, this is concurrent. And Borderlands 3 didn't come out on Steam day one release, by the way. It came out like 6 months, 8 months later, or whatever it was. Was it 6 to 8 months, or was it a year? I forget. I think it was like a 6-month thing. Okay, 93,820. 2-month peak of 17,256, and 82% drop. That's a big difference, though. Come on. That's a big difference. Borderlands 2, all-time peak, 124,678. 2-month peak, 22,554, and 82% drop as well. Okay. Of course, there's a couple different variables that factor into the record-breaking number for the franchise Steam ports. First, Borderlands 4 had a significantly higher peak player count than its predecessors did during the own launch weekends, but it also didn't launch day and date on other things back then. So it would also naturally experience greater losses. Secondly, Borderlands 4's PC version in particular has been riddled with performance issues since launch. No, that is across the board. Don't just say PC version. That is across the board of all versions, console and PC. They were riddled with performance issues. Okay. It draw players away from it in Steam. While Steam player counts aren't everything for cross-platform, games like Borderlands 4, these are no doubt indication of the community's sentiment of the state of the game. Once Borderlands 4 launches its first bounty pack and DLC, how Russia saved Mercenary Day, perhaps it will see some of its most devoted fans return for fray. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen. Uh-oh. Did we lose? Did we get bopped because we were talking about Take-Two? We didn't even say anything but say Borderlands 4. Oh, boy. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. They've done it again. They've done it again. This is getting ridiculous, chat. This is getting absolutely ridiculous. Give me a second. Did our stream get... No, we're still good. We're still good? Okay. They bopped me on my side. All right. Cybersword said Randy heard his name being mentioned. Yeah, it was weird. What's going on, Crowded? Uh-oh. Something happened on my YouTube side now. You gotta love these problems that we're having of recent. Yeah, I got blipped for a second. All right, let me go to chat. See what you guys are saying. We got about 6 minutes, then we're gonna do our Veterans Day moment of silence here. Water Bear says, I got Borderlands 4 for free. I played it. It was fun. However, I didn't get far because the bugs in the game were just too much to overcome. Eclipse says, it's not everything, but when you can actually see the difference in sales, it's always triple. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, imagine that. Still good over on Twitch? All right. So someone of importance is watching your streams, 30, and they're making the call. Take them down. I don't know. I can't imagine in a world, Water, that someone with less than 3,000 subscribers, fucking less than 2,600 subscribers, okay, is getting bopped by some person that's got a vendetta against because we're just talking. We're not even talking shit. We're just giving facts of the actual things that are happening in the gaming industry. Right? I can't fathom that someone there's like, I'm waiting. But then again, maybe he's the person that hits the dislike button every day. I have no idea. Ray says, I can't wait to play the optimized version for free. Right? Here's the thing. You could just wait to play these things, and you'll have a better version for cheaper. Way cheaper. It makes no sense. Again, Outlaws. The people that defended Outlaws is uncanny. They're like, no, it's a good game, 30. I played 50 hours. I played 52 hours of the game in the 1 month. Right? We said the problems. Everyone's like, no, everything was fine. Outlaws is the greatest Star Wars game ever created. And yet the developers are like, we fixed all things. It's been 8 months. Please give us another shot. Like, what are we talking about? Z says, 30, they have an intent algorithm that is enough to shut you down, I guess. If he has time for Twitter beef, he has time to scroll Twitch. That is true, Cybersword. Yeah. That is true. Maybe he's got a vendetta against us. All right, in about 4 minutes, we are going to do a moment of silence. We're going to do a moment of silence for Veterans Day. If you're a veteran and you're in the States, or if you're a veteran, you're somewhere around the world now, we're going to have a moment of silence for you. We do appreciate you. Roic says, my biggest gripe with Borderlands 4 is that when you finish the story, you're not even close to the max level, and you have to do the open world stuff to finish leveling to 50. So that means you could overpower yourself, right, Roic? So you could basically go around, never do the actual quests, and have way more power and basically just run through the game super easy then, right? That's a fundamental flaw, I think, as well. Tarnish Gamer says, day one buyers might be stuck in the past. You're getting a version day one, but not a very good version. That's right, Tarnished. That's right. You're paying full price for a half-ass game. You're not getting the full price. If that is broke, buggy, unfinished, or if it's a game that's full price that gets sprinkled across the next year because of live service. Right? It's different with games like Overwatch or Fortnite because you're not paying for those games. Right? It's different when you pay for a game that's like $30, $40 than when you pay a game for $70, $80. All right. Man, the cold weather here, it was like 36 degrees in Florida. I know I'm not complaining. I'm just letting you know. And my mouth is like, it's like super dry. I feel like I smoked a joint, which I haven't done in like 2 decades. That and everything I touch is like a static charge right now. Roic says no mobs will ever will be your level, so you really can't over level. Well, aren't there guns? Because this happened in Borderlands 3, and again, I played Borderlands 3, not Borderlands 4. In Borderlands 3, I used a weapon that I got at level 7 that went with me to like level 27. Like I didn't need another gun. Then I found a different gun. I was just melting people as well. Full ass is greater than half ass. That is very true. All right. We're about a couple of seconds away from 11 o'clock. At 11 o'clock, we'll have a moment of silence. Basically, you guys will just be silent. I'll be silent. You guys keep doing what you're doing. But Sarge says, attention, we'll be having a moment of silence at 11 a.m. representing the end of World War I. And we ask that you all send your country on origin of flag in chat to represent all those involved. All right, it's 11 o'clock. I will now have a moment of silence for the veterans that served the country all around the world. All right. Now, from that, I'm going to get myself a drink of water. And while I do that, you guys can listen to the new song that I created, which is called 50 Stars Strong, which I played in the beginning of the stream. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. I appreciate you very much. So you guys listen to this, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, from the mountains to the bay, from them back roads to Broadway, we all fly that same old flag, and we stand 50 stars strong. Let's ride, let's ride. We 50 stars strong, wave that flag high, red, white, blue, freedom in the sky. From sea to shining state we roll, 50 hearts, one country soul. Hey, from the farms to the towns, from the ridge to the bay, can't nobody do it like the USA. Different roots but the same old song. From sea to shining state we 50 stars strong. to Maine where the morning breaks. Down to Georgia where the peaches bake. Carolina charm, Tennessee sound. Sweet home roots in the red clay ground. Midwest fields in that southern drawl. Texas big, we stand tall. Oklahoma win, Kentucky soul. Heartland proud, we strike gold. Raise them up from the plains to the coast. We the kind of folks that love the most. From the Baha'i to the mountain lakes, we shine bright from state to state. Colorado high, Montana free. Wyoming skies in the evergreen. Nevada lights, Arizona flame. Utah rocks with a western name. Oregon rain, Washington pride. Cali dreamers with that ocean tide. Hawaii waves, Alaska cold. 50 stories, one flag we hold. Yeah, it don't matter where you're from. City block or track to run. We all bleed red, we all sing loud. This is home, this is proud. We 50 stars strong, wave that flag high. Red, white, blue, freedom in the sky. From sea to shining state we roll. 50 hearts, one country soul. From the fields to the towns, from the ridge to the bay. Can't nobody do it like the USA. Different roots but the same old song. From sea to shining state we 50 stars strong. From New York lights to that southern clay, to the Midwest grind and the California way. Every corner, every road we take, we carry that pride that won't break. We 50 stars strong, wave that flag high. Red, white, blue, freedom in the sky. From sea to shining state we roll. 50 hearts, one country soul. From the back roads deep to them city songs. We live, we love, we carry on. One nation, one dream all night long. From sea to shining state we 50 stars strong. Yeah. From sea to shining state. Every mile, every town, every fate. We may be different, but we belong. 'Cause together we 50 stars strong.
All right. Let's go to the third story. All right. The third story, it's a leaked. We don't know if it's true just yet, but let me tell you something. If it is, I'm going to have a talk with my son because he won't be gambling inside of Fortnite. If you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Okay? That breaks down. We do 24 shows a month. We do 4 days a week for the daily show, and then we do 4 podcasts on Thursday nights. So that's less than 20 cents to help support what I do here. So Fortnite to add gambling in the future update, leak reveals. So Fortnite is set to make a controversial addition to the future update. It's claimed with gambling mechanics set to directly add to the title. Huge updates are in the cards for Fortnite with Chapter 7 due to kickoff later this month. An annual switch in chapters usually results in the biggest gameplay changes of the year. While we've also already seen leaks suggesting that huge collabs with the likes of SpongeBob SquarePants, Harry Potter are on the cards, the apparent addition of gambling will ruffle some feathers. First of all, they know exactly who is playing this game. And the fact that they're going to add any kind of gambling into this for children is absolutely fucking disgusting. But let's continue. Fortnite will add gambling mechanics. Okay, Fortnite, according to a reliable leaker, gambling mechanics are coming soon in Fortnite and will be available to games created using the Unreal Editor in Fortnite. It's not entirely clear whether or not the official Fortnite experience will support gambling or whether a content link loot boxes will add in the item shop, but it appears that it'll be available in community created experiences. According to the leak, random items will be purchasable for V-Bucks, but creditors will be required to disclose gambling odds, something commonplace in gaming to align the intentional laws. Additionally, due to the law in some nations, experiences with gambling involved will be blocked in some nations. While gambling aspects are already available in some user-created experiences within Fortnite, including pet eggs, with the rare chance of hatch-specific creatures in games like Pet Heroes Adventure, the major difference is that these are paid with in-game soft currency that is not purchasable. Okay, With this update, V-Bucks will be directly available to spend on items that provide random rewards through unclear at this stage is exactly what will be entailed, and it will likely depend on the experience being played. If they start putting this in the game, obviously it'll make billions and billions of dollars, okay? But playing a game inside for soft currency, obviously if you're still teaching gambling mechanics and stuff like that, and I understand there's games that do that, and I understand that even baseball cards that you buy is a gambling mechanic because you don't know what you're going to get and all the loot boxes and stuff they sell in stores, totally understandable. But the fact that Fortnite is making billions and billions of dollars doing what they're already doing, okay? Already. Right? They're racking in with the cosmetic skins from the actual people that are buying the skins. They're getting money from the companies advertising their stuff in the actual game. And then on top of that, they're putting a gambling mechanic that people that are just making Unreal Engine, games with inside of Fortnite itself. Like, this is bad news. And unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of parents that don't pay attention to this, right? There's going to be a lot of people that don't pay attention to this, and their kid that they're allowed to play Fortnite, that they're in there and they think they're just playing Fortnite. All of a sudden, their V-Buck allowance is going down the drain faster, and they're like, "What are you getting? What are you doing?" And most people probably don't pay attention because they don't even know what they're subscribed to, let alone what their kids are doing on their video games and what they're spending. You hear how many horror stories, okay? How many horror stories do you hear about people spending $10,000, $15,000 of their parents' money, right? And it all comes down to, well, they have to be better parents. Sure. But at the same time, if they don't pay attention to a podcast like myself or read the news and gaming news, they just feel like, oh yeah, they're just playing Fortnite. There's no harm, no foul, right? Right, Quintar. They don't want billions. They want trillions. That's exactly right, right? They're trying to squeeze out as much as possible because they know, even though you look at the player base, even though you look at it and there's 1 million people or 300,000 people that are constantly playing concurrent with this, okay? Even though they have that, the player base is dropping. Why is it dropping, right? And when I say dropping, I'm not talking about in the masses like Borderlands 4. What I'm saying is they're all in competition with each other. We talked about this earlier, right? Every game, every piece of movie, every entertainment, every YouTube channel, we're all in competition for your time. It's what it is, okay? So Fortnite is losing that to other games that are coming out. Other people that want to go play Call of Duty, Roblox, Minecraft, whatever it is. How do they keep you involved in this game? Hence why Fortnite does all the different game modes in there, while they have creator content in there, why Mind's Eye wanted to do the exact same thing as them, why Grand Theft Auto is going to do the same thing as them. All of these companies are all going to do the exact same thing. They're all going to look exactly the same. They're all going to basically be Second Life, what Second Life was in the early 2000s, but now everyone's doing it, okay? And they all want to try to just milk and squeeze as much money out of each individual person as possible with each of these things. And if they can start to do it at a younger age, then you'll just be conditioned the entire time. Oh, well, this is fine. I did this when I was 8 years old. I did this when I was 10 years old. I did this when I was 13 years old. Now you're 20 and you're like, this is no big deal. This has been in gaming my entire life, right? They're conditioning. They don't care about you and me, the adults, right? They care about the younger generation that they can train, condition to accept these things, where the adults that are not paying attention to this, right? Because they don't think it's a big deal, because we've also been conditioned. Oh yeah, when I was a kid, I used to smoke cigarettes. I used to do drugs. I used to do all that stuff. Cool, right? But this is predatory. Putting this into the actual game and then making the actual, again, you want to make in-game currency where you're not losing any money, and you want to hit a box for an hour and a half to get the currency in the game and then spend that money in the game. Cool. But to throw $100 at a game and then spend it to see if I get something that's a digital good? Like, what are we talking about here? Right? This is bad news. And as we've always say on this podcast, there needs to be consumer protection. As they say in the actual thing, okay, there'll be certain places that they won't be able to do it. Okay? Some nations will be blocking it. So you're like, UK probably won't get it. Who else is usually protected? Australia usually has good rules against it and stuff like this, right? Not the United States. United States is like, let's try to screw as many people over as possible. So, like Quintar said, so we can make trillions of dollars. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. What do you think about Fortnite potentially adding a gambling inside a future update? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know in the live chat. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe. And if you like what I do here, check out some other videos. Thanks for watching. Feels good says, remember when Fortnite was just zombie/base building? Like, what the fuck happened? Let me go back to Quintar's thing. Billions, and now they want trillions. That's exactly what they want. Yeah. Netherlands. Yeah, Netherlands and Belgium. Yeah. Well, if some nations can block it, then it shouldn't be allowed anywhere. That's right. It shouldn't. Jason says 30 Rivals Season 5 trailer drop. Perfect timing, Jason, because we were done with those stories. Let's check that out. Let's check that out. We got a couple other stories we can go over. Is it up on Twitter, Jason? I'm assuming it's on Twitter. It'll probably pop up as soon as that's Division. That's Helldivers. Oh, look at Gambit. Okay, hold on. Here it is.
You sure you're making the right choice, bub?
Not a doubt, Mona B. I'm free to be myself. But somehow, she manages to keep me grounded. She's my whole world.
You know how troubled his past is, yet you still chose him.
Of course I did. Rim has always been there for me, no matter what.
Let us hope that stays true. In the chaos to come.
I love how they're covering the faces. You can't see them clearly. These bastards. They know. They've done it again. They've done it again. They look awesome. They've done it again. Yeah, they look good. Wait, go back? How far? You want this thing. You want this part right here. That's what you're looking at? Wait, they showed Cyclops.
Rim has always been there for me, no matter what.
Let us hope that stays true. In the chaos to come.
Oh, looky. There he is. Looky. He should be in the room already. I missed that, Water. Good eye. Good eyes. They look good. Yeah, look at him. So this is the picture that we saw a couple days ago. So now it's a much clearer thing. They did really good. Marvel Rivals is nailing it on the actual character design. Just nailing it. Now just give us that PvE game mode that's constantly in the game. Please. Please. I might start playing this again because of Gambit. Eclipse says, man, Rogue might take my Emma Frost. Yeah, she looks good. Yeah, they show it right here. Look, they have the Twitter's on the case. He was there twice. Yeah, he was there twice. The last pick of Gambit looks like a Korean pop star. I mean, yeah, it's not Gene. Yeah, Gambit looks good. What do we got here? Helldivers 2 Xbox port helped increase PlayStation 5 and PC sales. Okay, well, we'll take that and add that to the news stories for later. All right, let's see what else we got here. Here's the thing that we talked about. We showed a video, I think it was last week. I think Mr. Luke sent us a video talking about why people like Arc Raiders. And the video said that Arc Raiders is the extraction with people with jobs, right? For people that have jobs. So it looks like there's an article here from 3 days ago. This comes from PC Gamer. Okay, it says, finally, Arc Raiders is the extraction shooter for people with jobs. And it's all the better for it. Okay. It says, as much as I love to nail-biting tension of extraction shooters, it's long been a genre obsessed with rigorous gear grind and slow pace to make it almost impenetrable for new players, or those that can't dedicate more time than a few hours a day or even a week. The one exception, though, until now has been Hunt Showdown, a WoW that can also recommend. And while I can't recommend it enough, let's face it, it's not your typical extraction shooter. So for all these years, extraction shooters have remained the domination of the select few with enough time and the patience dedicated to it. Invariably, anyone who also dares to give it's a casual go. Of course, with enough time and determination, you also eventually join the elite band. But my point is that the genre isn't known for being welcoming and even semi-casual. If you want a genre to truly grow, experiment, and encourage a more diverse audience, we'll do it. It says, just as that, I thought perhaps the genre would never become a truly mainstream. And this is why we always talked about extraction shooters being a finite population. Now everyone's like, oh no, they're huge. There's 5 million people playing. Yeah, but 5 million people of 250 million people that could potentially play on console are not playing it, right? 5 million people of 3.2 billion players on PC it's a very small group. So it's a finite audience, right? So somehow capturing intensely the fear of also competitors do it, but does so without requiring you to invest countless hours to keep up, nor feel like you're also hit with the reset baton. It was also when you die. Loot matters, but it's not also the be-all, end-all. And also, there's also cool robots that also make shit yourself and encourage you to forge unease bonds with fellow raiders. Okay, it says what Arc Raiders nails on the head is a streamlined loot system that offers advantages as you move up tiers, but largely against the PvE robots that also against other players in PvP. The best weapon, like also the rare Hulk Cracker, I haven't got one yet, or the Jupiter, specialize in punching through the toughest machines thanks to increased armor penetration. This is what a lot of people are using to go up against the Queen and other high-end robots. Higher tier assault rifle pistol and so on are really do all the much more damage to players than the basic guns that you'll find in the free loadouts. Instead, they come with a better handling, bigger magazine, or faster reloads. Better guns are better, but it's also never the reason you win or lose a fight. So right, you could take somebody out with a lower tier gun, okay, but you also want to put components and stuff on there because the sway, the recoil, all that stuff gets helped and fixed the higher tiers you go. It doesn't do more damage. The damage is the same across the board. Even with the way shields or healing works, ensures a gap between the cheap/common and the expensive/rare items is never insurmountable rift. Okay. In other words, You'll never be the new player that have recently died and lost your items continuously run into a brick wall at high level, endgame players dominating every match. Well, people that know the map better, people that understand the weapons better, people that can aim better, all right, are always going to have that advantage over you, okay? The more casual, forgiving nature continues to Arc Raiders may also welcome quality of life additions. Firstly, there's Scrappy, your pet rooster, who also collects basic crafting materials for between matches. This means that it'll never be without the basics, and you need to waste time collecting scrap metal, fabric, or so on. That's not the fun part of the extraction shooter after all. So again, for people that are playing the game or don't know if you're not playing the game, you don't have to extract to get resources. You could go in and die, and when you get back, you'll have a couple of bits and pieces from Scrappy, the rooster, that will get you stuff that you can also craft your own stuff. So let's say you die 4 or 5 matches in a row. You'll still have 5, 10, 15 every round, basically, if you're upgrading your stuff with side Arc Raiders, to slowly progress. So you constantly always feel that you're not wasting your time, as we were talking about it earlier in chat, right? Like, you're not constantly feeling like you're pushing a boulder uphill. It's really, really nice to go in as a free loadout. You don't really worry about losing your stuff. If you collect all the stuff and get killed before you leave, you're still getting something at the end. And if you have as we call it, prison pocket, if you have your free pocket that you could take the thing that you need, put it inside there, and you'll be okay. Because even if you die, you still get to keep that one object that will progress you through the actual game. Sure, you lose your guns. Sure, you lose that stuff. But it doesn't feel like you're losing everything. You can just go back in with a free loadout, and just in one match, you could kill somebody based on how you are. If you want to kill someone that's not even paying attention and you have the shot, you can take them out, and then all of a sudden you get their stuff, right? And that's just the way it is, right? So it does a very good job of keeping you engaged, but also makes you feel like you're not wasting your time. It respects your time, which I've always said is one of the most important things in video games. Okay. It says then there's the handy item tooltips. They explain exactly what each thing does. Okay. It says that and roughly where you look to get more, and you often scratching your head wondering why there was also pick up random tat. Combined with the generosity, upgradable stash, easily accessible safe pockets on the runs, and quick auto-loading backpack after match, you spend less time, baffling around, with your inventory, and more time what makes Arc Raiders unique. It says, of course, you can't forget the skill tree, which is a surprisingly perfect addition to the extraction shooter. Whether you're extract alive or not, you'll earn XP from looting. That's another thing. No matter if you get out or if you just search stuff. So search as much things as possible because you get XP for everything that you search, regardless if you take the stuff out or not. Okay? So you get XP every time. If you die or live, right, or extract, you're still getting XP points. So rewarding time invested. You might think that this undermines every other aspect, reintroduces the typical endgame advantages of Arc Raiders that evidently the aim is to avoid. However, it's balanced in such a way that it feels like you're always progressing. That doesn't feel like you're always progressing. You are always progressing. But without making any particular skill too impactful overall, again, you won't win or lose because of your skills. Lastly, Arc Raiders also does something very unique with the controversial genre staple, wipes. In the active effort to avoid forcing account resets on players like Tarkov does, instead of mandatory wipes, they'll have a fresh start that can also participate in expedition projects every 8 or so weeks. Effectively, the quest is to build a caravan of retired of your character, starting mostly anew, but it's also several bonuses for your character. And if it's not a perfect solution to both hardcore and casual players' concerns, when you don't know what it is. The little pushback I have with this is, I was talking about yesterday with Luke, I don't know what we're going for. We don't know what the bonuses are. And they won't tell us until the very end by the time you've already taken. So it's almost like FOMO, right? Because I've put all the stuff in. I can't get that stuff back. So I either progress and finish it to get that particular bonus, or I don't take it and then just continue on. But that stuff just stays there the entire time. Okay, so its efforts are finally making extraction shooter of the masses without sacrifice that makes the genre so appealing have undoubtedly paid off, and you can also wait to see what's next, right? So they do a really good job of respecting your time, but at the same time, there's still a little bit of, is it going to be worth resetting? I'll be honest with you, I don't even know if I'll get to the actual point in 6 more weeks, 6.5 more weeks, to turn in my stuff to reset, right? So we'll see what happens. But this game just keeps getting more steam, right? Not saying, play on words here. It literally is getting past, let me see what the next, it surpassed 700,000. They shared the number earlier. Let me see if I can find it again. Yeah. So we talked about it. We talked about it in our Discord. Okay, Arc Raiders surpass 700,000 concurrent players across all platforms this weekend. And you better believe it's the most of them were on PC, which we went through yesterday, if you watched yesterday's show. Okay. Yesterday's show, we talked about how I think it was like 1.7 million people purchased it and played it on Steam. Okay. And then the other people was like 400,000 and 350,000 on PlayStation and Xbox. All right, this past weekend, they had a big weekend for Arc Raiders, which Embark Studios says surpassed 700,000 concurrent players. Now, think about all the other games that everyone said sold really well. Veilguard, right? Assassin's Creed Shadows. There was a couple other ones. Oh, Borderlands, right? And they tell you that a lot of people played the game. But yet, they don't ever share the numbers. They don't share the numbers because they don't want to share the numbers, because if they share the numbers, then you would know that it wasn't successful. But then you have companies like this, right? You have companies like Baldur's Gate. You have companies like, what was the other one recently? Oh, Helldivers. Helldivers shared their numbers because they're like, wow, this is way above what we expected, so let's share the number, right? People get hyped up about that type of stuff, okay? They showed you the concurrent. Now, we knew the concurrent on actual Steam at the time was like 400,000, 462,000 or whatever it is, but they knew that this weekend they had an additional 250,000 people over to get over 700,000 concurrent players across all platforms. What other company shares their numbers across the consoles/Steam? Not many, because they know if you knew, then you would know it wasn't successful. It says it's been a little over a week now since they had opened the tunnels and head over to Topside. And this past weekend reached over 700,000 concurrent raiders on the surface, Embark wrote on X. We're so happy to have you all here. We're different than ways that play to participate in Arc Raiders and have completely blown us away, going far beyond what we've imagined. You surprise us with the outsmart us, and you also keep us up on our toes, and we wouldn't have said it any other way. Okay, the figure is interesting for two reasons. One, because it's huge, and two, it gives us a look at the total number of Arc Raider players and thus measures the success that we don't normally get. Exactly right. Okay. Typically, we're also limited to seeing concurrent player counts on Steam alone, but this includes Raiders on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. Okay. So it says, the remark about this is many different ways. People are playing Arc rings true. Even perhaps they also laced a bit of irony of Arc Raiders as a PvP VE game, but there's also surprisingly little PvP to do to it, at least for solo queues. Well, it all depends on what region you're in. I was watching someone play on singles, and they were constantly in battle, and then I watched another person that didn't get any battles. Force Gaming had a clip, and he was asking, is there gear matchmaking in the game? And everyone's like, I don't think so. But he was saying that his friends that had like green loadouts and whatnot would go in, and when they find the people that they were going up against, they were doing the exact same thing. They had the exact same thing. And when he was going up against people, he would find people that had the same type of weapons as him. So obviously there's no proof of this, but he was saying that it's actually gear. So before you go in, the matchmaking and the way he says it is, he's thinking that if I load in with a green, maxed out with a whole bunch of stuff, you're going to get in more of a PvP lobby, which I kind of agree with, because the two times that I brought in a high-end anvil gun, I got into a PvP match. Okay. But all the other times where I bring in a non-PvP gun, we never ever get people that are very PvP ridden. It makes sense. Now, I don't know if Embark has come out and said that this is matchmaking or they deny it or whatnot, but it does make sense because every time I bring in a high-end gun, I always get in a PvP match. And every time I don't bring in a high-end gun, I walk around and it's super friendly. So there is plausibility there, and they're denying it. And they're saying, oh, no, it's not like that. It's just matchmaking. Okay, if you say so. But my stats say otherwise, because I haven't gotten into many PvP fights except when I have good gear. It happened twice to us yesterday. Twice. Okay. Far more representative of the experience and encounter I had last night. 2 guys held the elevator for me as I was walking by and joined them and had left the map sooner and then intended just because I didn't want to be rude. Fight on, sights on types of might be not impressive, but also kind of interactions and something generally love about Arc Raiders. And not just because I'm bad at PvP, the journalist says. Putting your trust in a complete stranger, packing an automatic weapon and getting away with the safe escape instead of a brace bullets in your back is exhilarating. There's always that moment in the back of your head where you feel like they're gonna shoot you in the head. Okay, as loyal and the right-thinking PC gamer, Embark concurrent player posts compels me to point out that the PC-dependent audience is roughly 2/3 of the Arc Raider player base, and possibly more because some of the mouse and keyboard set, while Embark didn't say exactly when the weekend and the game broke 700,000 concurrents, is reasonable to guess that it happened around the same time it surpassed 462,000 concurrent players on Steam alone. Add to whatever number of players are at Arc Raiders in the Epic Games Store. Like Sony and Microsoft, Epic doesn't share player numbers. And you've got the whole lot of PC gamers playing Arc Raiders and far more than PlayStation 5 and Xbox combined. Maybe this is why everyone is so nice. Perhaps. And again, they also share the numbers. So they share the Steam numbers. We know the concurrent Steam numbers. And we know the numbers that were on PlayStation and Xbox. So then you can kind of figure out what the leftover is playing on Epic, right? When they share numbers, you can figure it out. It's the game. It's like Helldivers. This is Helldivers of 2025, right? This is that game that's picking up steam as it goes. It'll probably break 500, maybe 600,000 concurrent. It's very successful, but it'll probably die off pretty fast as well when other games come out down. Who knows? We'll see what happens. And all of a sudden, Tarkov just came out on console too, right? If is that correct? Was it Tarkov or was it Hunt Showdown? I forget which one. Chat, help me out here. One of them is coming out on console now. I know one was on console. The other one is now coming to console. So a lot of people think that maybe more people will go play that now because they played this. And we'll see what happens with the player base and the numbers that, what they share. But yeah, this is good. This is good for the industry. This is good for the genre. But it's also a completely different type of game than the other extractions out there. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe if you like what I do. Check out some other videos. Thanks for watching. Dolphin says Hunt Showdown has been on Game Pass for a bit, so it's got to be Tarkov then, right? Tarkov's coming to console. I was watching Doc yesterday. He just shoots on sight every time. Yeah, there's a bunch of people like that. Quintard says, I just need soft pillows. We got it yesterday. Go to Buried City, and go to the apartment complexes by the Red Tower area. Just search all those buildings. I found one. Luke had to give me the other two, but he found them in the same buildings over that section. All right. Travis, you said you sent me a video of Luke Stevens. How long is this? What is this? Why it doesn't feel... Is this a long clip? And what is this about? And do I care? 6 minutes and 21 seconds. Okay, why does it feel impossible to be evil in modern RPGs? All right, let's watch it.
Cured Madness, thank you for the vibe. Do you think Western RPGs don't let you be the bad guy anymore? It kind of feels like it nowadays, except BG3, of course. It does seem like there is a hesitance to let you be just totally evil. Even just like simple example,
I don't think they want you to be evil because the developers have to make more outcomes.
Bring up is like in BGS RPGs, there is a console command where you can hit tilde and then you can do kill all. Just type that in, enter. And in games like Fallout 3 and New Vegas, literally, and I think Skyrim too, literally every NPC just drops dead. And you fail all of the quests. You fail everything. The game will let you do it, and the game will just be like, now you're all alone in the wasteland. Literally every character,
I mean, I did that in Atom Falls, where I literally killed everybody in the all the NPCs. I had no vendors.
Agent within the game
Robert Jones says Tarkov 1.0 is coming soon. Thank you, Jones.
is dead. They're all gone. And it's your fault. So you'll lose and fail all the quests. You can't complete the game story or anything. But in recent games, like Starfield, for example, there's dozens, if not hundreds of characters that you cannot kill. You cannot do anything. They just get downed. And it's because if they were to die, it would break the quest line, and BGS didn't want you to do that. So they will let you go up to a character that excuse me, is like a major character within a main story mission or a faction mission or something. You can shoot them in the face. They drop down to all fours, and then you wait like an in-game hour. They recover, and then you can talk to them again. And your reputation might have dropped with that faction or whatever, so you'll have to pay more at the vendor. But they'll still give you the quest and let you continue. You know, it's like, okay, so like as long as you don't want to role play as somebody.
Right, they're taking the experience out of the game, right? Sometimes in these RPG games, the person just wants to play the game. Like, you created the game, and you have a vision for your game, and you make that game and you sell that game. But once the game comes to me, do you guys ever watch Let's Game It Out? Do you guys know who Let's Game It Out is? I would assume a lot of you do. He's very, very famous YouTuber that basically breaks games. He does it on purpose. Okay. In the beginning of his career, he would play games, but then he started trying to break the game. And the reason I'm bringing him up is because he doesn't really play like role-playing games, but what he does is he plays games to see if he can break them. Obviously, the developers don't want you to break their game, but his whole thing is, let me play the game how I want to play, and he tries to break the game. That should be the exact same mentality of when people are making a game, that you make the game, you sell the game. What I choose to do with that game is let me do that in the game. This is why I hate invisible ceilings, invisible walls. If I decide if I want to jump up and I want to spend 10 hours just exploring your map and falling through the map and doing all that stuff, sure, you could be like, well, the game's broken, buggy, but you did something to get to that point, not just talk to an NPC and fall through the ground, right? Make the game, sell a game, but let the players play the game. If I want to murder everybody in the game, I should be able to do that. And this is exactly why Skyrim, Fallout, and all these games that people that don't like Bethesda don't really understand. This is the stuff that you can do in these types of games. That's why they're very popular, because they've created the game. You gave us a playground or a sandbox to talk in, and then you can play the game how you want to play. Obviously, the person that's playing the game knows that they're not playing it correctly, but they want to play the game how they want to play.
Evil, the game works. But that's why I think a lot of people feel like the range of roleplay has really shifted. Like, if you think of it kind of as like a spectrum, a beautiful spectrum. And so we have like evil is over here, maybe like this is just D&D, neutral in the center, and then you have good on the far right. It feels like older games let you enjoy the full spectrum.
Yeah.
You know, they let you be super evil and
not anymore.
Super good, or somewhere in the middle, which is what most people play. But over the last few years, the average RPG coming from some of these studios, like on the AAA space, have been converging more to like this range, where they want you to only really.
They tell you that you can feel like when you see a certain game, you're like, oh man, I'm going to play evil, and then I'm going to play nice and whatever. But they don't want you to play evil, because evil breaks the game. They don't want you to play evil because you could just skip a whole bunch of stuff. But I want to play the game how I want to play.
Be playing within this range.
He made a boot. That's good. He made a foot.
Instead of the full spectrum. And they're like, yeah, well, if you were evil, that would be like mean. So, like,
right, you can't be mean. We don't want you to be mean.
Like, you can kill people, but it's usually like, this guy's a murderer.
Oh, Dolphin, yeah, check him out. Let's Game It Out. Fantastic creator. He does a lot of stuff. Me and my son watch him every weekend. He's got so many videos, so you'll have plenty of stuff to watch.
You like Dragon Age Veilguard, for example. There's a scene with the local mayor or whatever who's kind
Spiffing Bridge is a good one as well.
Kind of responsible for the whole village dying, sort of. And It does look like a foot. You're right. It does look like a shoe.
Yeah, you don't really. I played Avowed. We put I want to say about 50, 60 hours, maybe a little bit more in that game. I enjoyed it, but you really can't be bad. You can make bad choices, but it doesn't feel like I'm making a bad choice. It's just like he says here. It's like mediocre, neutral, and good. It's not bad. Middle good.
To do that. The shoe of gaming, ladies and gentlemen. But the mayor is sort of responsible for it. And the choice that they give you is to like take him out or let him die for his crimes. And that's supposed to be like the big moral.
Right. You could be bad, not evil. Right. You could be rude, Travis. I won't even say bad. You could be rude, but you can't be evil.
Choice in that moment. But it's like he's still evil. Like he did something bad that probably deserves death. So
this is why Fable 2 was so good. You became like evil, right? Based on what your choices were, you became evil. You started growing horns on your face.
You're just kind of like, again, the option is you let him just die from like the crows eating him, which probably puts you right about here. Like it's still probably the right thing to do because he did something horrible, but it's not as virtuous as like forgiving him and giving him a second chance, which puts you like right here. And so it's like, okay, so we're all in like roughly the same range, you know? And to be clear, this isn't true for every RPG. You guys brought up Baldur's Gate. It's a fantastic example of a game.
Yeah, but you're bringing up the outlier, not the norm.
That lets you go and be super evil. Dark Urge playthrough, they let you do some stuff, dude. It's not for the faint of heart. Those playthroughs are legitimately difficult, not because the game is like mechanically harder, but because you will have to look at characters who are very sweet and kind, and you will have to destroy them. Like, it is not for the faint of heart. Has anybody in chat done like a full crazy evil Dark Urge playthrough? I'm genuinely curious. Has anybody in chat actually done it? I mean, from the start to the end, going full murder hobo, evil.
It's always easier to play evil, right? And that's what the developers are going for. By nature, people don't want to be evil. But when it's in a video game and there's no consequences, they want to be evil. They want to see what happens. They want to play that evil because in real life, they can't be evil. Obviously, there's some people out there that are evil. Okay. But for the most part, humanity sets in, right? As Travis says, I can't bring myself to play evil, right? A lot of people don't like to play evil, right? But a lot of people like to play evil in video games because there's no consequences. It's much easier to play evil in a video game than it is to be self-conscious and be like, well, if I do that, that person's going to be mad at me, right? A lot of people love playing evil characters in video games because there is no consequence to them personally. There's consequences in the actual game, which is a sandbox. Let me play the game how I want to play.
Crazy. Hebumera says can't do it. Yes, I'm planning on doing it. Couldn't do it. I know a lot of people who started a Dark Urge playthrough and gave up like an hour or two in. They're like, I can't. Like there's that one moment. Oh, what's the character's name? Somebody's caught doing something naughty.
Aku says, give me the Youngling Slayer 9000.
Nasty or like trying to steal something. And most people will let the person go or will cover for them. But then if you're playing Dark Urge, you're like, yep, kill him. Like it's crazy, dude. My friend did. It's genuinely really interesting though. Yeah, you kill the child in the... That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, the child in the Druid Grove. Yeah, it's genuinely really cool to see how many things they took account of. And
Altered says it's hard to be a good guy. Yeah, it's hard to balance that as you're going through. It's much more difficult to be good than it is to be evil. It's easy to be evil. You're like, hey, do you want to do this? No, kill you. Done. Move on. Steal your stuff. Take the stuff. Go on to the next thing. Skyrim, it's easy to go in, steal a bunch of stuff, murder a bunch of people. You know what I mean? But it's fun.
How evil the game will let you be, but it's tough. It's tough to do it. And you're right, Flamren. They did do, or Femren. They did do an update, a series of updates, including updating the game to add all sorts of new evil cutscenes, ending cutscenes, stuff like that. So if you've been thinking about doing an evil playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3, let you. I recommend you go check it out. But as for Outer Worlds 2 specifically, I personally, just being real, have not experimented a ton with the roleplay options to like go full murder hobo, go full crazy evil. So maybe it does support more of that.
Has anybody played Outer Worlds 2? And if so, have you played an evil person?
I think it supports a lot more than Avowed did. Avowed was pretty weak on the role-playing element.
Avowed had 0. I mean, there was evil, but it wasn't evil. Do you know what I mean? Avowed didn't have evil. It had bad. Right? You could be bad, but you couldn't be, or rude. Like I said earlier, you could be rude, but you couldn't be evil. No matter what you picked, it would get you back around to the exact same thing. The ending of that thing would always be like the outcome is the same, regardless if you were bad or good. It's not that good. On evil, there's mean and to be rude. Eclipse says, I'm a smooth talker, so whatever gets me through not fighting a boss, I do. In Avowed, that's what I did, right? A lot of times I talked myself out of it. Is there relationships in Outer Worlds too? I don't think there is. Well, there might be, but I don't think it's like Mass Effect 2-ish, Dolphin, if that's what you're asking. Feels good. Says, not trying to start drama, but didn't Luke get called out for plagiarism back in the day? I've never been able to take him serious. What does that have to do with him talking about role-playing and evil? Not that you're starting drama, but what would him plagiarizing have to do with anything about him talking about RPGs not being able to become evil? I don't think it's here nor there. Can't be evil. Try just doesn't sit right, but I will protect my crew. Yeah, most people just can't, Mo. Most people are not built that way. They want to be good, right? And again, it's hard, just like real life. Just like real life, it's easy to be evil. It's hard to be good. It's hard to follow rules. It's not easy to follow rules. It's hard to follow rules. Real easy to not follow rules. That was people's complaints in Avowed? Yeah. Travis says there's some evil options in Outer Worlds too, but they also don't make a huge difference. More just like oh, hey, blew up a factory, but hey, it's a key you need. Right. There's no actual like, people are upset with you. People treat you differently. It's just like, it's a quest. Cool. And I think the reason for it, Travis, is a lot of people that are making the video game just don't want to go that direction because they have to make more video game. You know what I mean? Like if I just make the video game and the outcome comes out the same, I can make you feel like you're evil, but not actually evil. Where if I make it actual evil, I have to actually code stuff in the game to make you evil. And they're like, I don't want to do that. If I may paraphrase, not to start drama, but here's some drama. Yeah, there's no drama. I don't give a shit if he got murdering somebody. What does that have to do with him talking about an RPG about being evil or good? One has nothing to do with the other. Well, I appreciate it feels good, but what I'm saying is him doing something, and I think he did, okay? Time forgives all wounds, right? Time heals all wounds. But him plagiarizing something and him giving his opinions, actual opinions on something, are completely two different things. Someone asked a question in the video that we watched. They asked about RPGs, about being evil or good. And he gave you his opinion, not plagiarized opinion, his opinion on the actual device for the question. One has nothing to do with another. Robert Jones says, minimal viable product. That's right. Minimal viable product. Altair says it needs to feel like it's your choice right? And a lot of people don't let it feel like it's your choice. And that's the thing. Sometimes it just feels not actually your choice. It feels like your choice. Altered says, yeah, like those options, when you either kill this guy or talk your way out of it, you're forced to kill him anyways. I hate those games. It's a false sense of options. Right. You really don't have an option. It's falsified options. Kyle says, personally, I've never been a big fan of Luke. Just gives off that I'm better than everybody else vibe to me. No idea. That's fair. Again, we just watched a video of someone in his chat asking a question, and he just gave his opinion. I mean, I can't be like, his opinion is bad. His opinion's his opinion. I give my opinion every day. Hence why he's on his channel and I'm on my channel. Luke had he actually commented about me one time when we were on Lono's podcast, I want to say about 2-3 years ago. He happened to watch Lono and me talking about something, and he just threw me in as a Sony fanboy. And I was like, this man didn't even watch the actual video. He's just commenting and saying something. Do I hate him for that? No. He just didn't do the research to tell me I wasn't or was a Sony fanboy. You know what I mean? So that's his opinion. His opinion was wrong. He's allowed his opinion, though. Travis says, well, in fairness, 30 gives off a superiority vibe, but he does it in a nice way, so we forgive him. Sometimes, yeah. I mean, I think we all like that. When you feel like you're right about something, you don't move. I've grown as a person over the years, and I mean, hell, we just did something yesterday with Quintar, who told me about Steam, and I was like, wow, was it like that? And I said what I knew, but I didn't know all of it. So yesterday we watched we read the history of Steam. Now I'm more educated. Now I know more about Steam's history. So when something comes up about Steam, I now have that information to share with somebody else that doesn't have that information. Hence why every day I read articles as it is on stream and give you my thoughts and opinions on those articles. That's what it is. I'm okay being wrong. I'm okay learning. If you're not learning, you're not living. Eclipse says learning is half the battle. Wait, hold on. Wait. Damn it. Is this it?
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
There you go. Knowledge is power. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm okay learning stuff and making myself better. Real American hero. G.I. Joe way. All right. We're closing in on 12 o'clock. Just to let you guys know, we will be back in about an hour at 1 o'clock. We'll be playing some more Arc Raiders with Mr. Luke. If you guys want to come out, check out 30 and Still Gaming, which is our gaming channel. Playing some more Arc Raiders. And then tonight, we'll probably play some more Arc Raiders with anybody that wants to play tonight. So if you're around tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, over on 30 and Still Gaming, we'll be playing some more Arc Raiders as well. Altern says, and power corrupts eventually. Quintar says, if info sharing is a win for all, yeah, 100%. I all the time, when I don't know something that I don't know, I'm like, hey guys, let me know. Is that what it is? What isn't? And if we don't know, we look it up. We look it up and we look at it and go, that's what it is. I make mistakes just like everybody else. I love fucking G.I. Joe. We had the great toy war back in, God, what was it? I was in middle school. I was like 90, 91. The great toy war. My brother took my G.I. Joe figures, and our neighbor had this G.I. Joe boat that they put in the water in our pool. And they had G.I. Joes on there, and they started like lighting them on fire and then smashing them up against the walls. I forget the actual Indian's name. The Native American guy. What was his name? Sarge will probably remember it. But they snapped him. The rubber band snapped. So I still have the character, but he's split in half. He's never been repaired ever since. Right? We had a big giant battle with all the Transformers and G.I. Joes and Exo Squad and Sky Commanders. love all that stuff. Love all that stuff. SG, man, we all argue Sony, Xbox, PC is pointless. We all know the best system was the Atari 2600. I mean, back in the day, it was amazing. I mean, what other system? Name another system where you could rip off the top of the controller and use it as a suction cup. I mean, go ahead, I'll wait. You can't. Right? The Atari 2600 literally had a suction cup built into the actual stick of the controller. You could just pull it right off and you could just, right? No other controller's ever done that. Is there a link to watch that stream? For 30 and Still Gaming? Yeah, links are in the description down below. 30 and Still Gaming is our channel. Nerding with 30 is another channel. 30 and Still Jamming is another channel. And at 30 NSG. When I saw the Xbox deliver a developer direct, when they showed the scene where Luna argued and Indigo Tree thought it was get to make decisions to do things Gustav way or Loons. No, I don't know what that is. What for what game is that? I'm not following there, Astrif. I'm guessing 30 was speaking on experience there, guys. This conversation is going to weird places. I mean, that's what it always does, doesn't it, Alter? I mean, we literally have the rabbit hole.
Oh, where I land, I do not know. But here I fall down the rabbit's hole.
I mean, it is what it is. Zartan was a native? No, that is 100% wrong. Zartan's the one that used to change colors in the sun. No. This right here, he looks badass right now. Spirit is his name. This is the Native American. Right? This is the Native American. This is an Indian. Yeah, Zartan, I think, was Australian. Supposedly there is a Snake Eyes game coming out or being developed. Isn't there, Travis? I think there is. Yeah, this is Zartan. Or at least this is my Zartan. This is Zartan. This is 1984 Zartan. He would change colors. See? Knowledge. No. Zartan wasn't the Indian. Yeah, Spirit was. I couldn't remember Spirit for some reason. And when you ask a question, Nate, this is why I didn't know it was a question, because you wrote it like that. Zartan was he a native? I understand there's no question there in the way you said it, but I don't know if you're asking or telling. So, my apology. Excuse me. Spirit like a horse. That's right. Yeah, I think, Zartan was also Cobra. Yeah, 100%. Supposedly, it's gone through. A couple weeks ago, Eclipse sent me a thing in Discord that the Transformer G.I. Joe show is going through, or movie's going through. And I'm not looking forward to that at all. I'm not looking forward to that at all. I'm a little I don't want to say nervous. Scared. Because, like, I hate Michael Bay Transformers. Like, I hate it. Travis says Pedro Pascal is Joe. They'll probably make him Flint. Maybe they'll make him Zartan. Who knows? Yeah, he was like a chameleon. He would put people's faces on, and like he was like what's the character that was in Game of Thrones? The man, what was the man with no face or something like that? The one that would basically hide in with the crowd, like that was Zartan basically. Roic says he will play them all. Yeah, he'll play Cobra Commander. He'll play G.I. Joe. Like, he'll play Flint. Yeah. He'll play Scarlet. He'll play them all. The Faceless Man. Thank you, Roic. That's how Zartan is. Zartan was constantly changing faces and whatnot in G.I. Joe. Is it the Faceless Man or the Man with Many Faces? Which one is it? The Faceless Man? Man with Many Faces. Zartan had an Ozzy Osbourne voice. Yeah, I would like to see a Snake Eyes game like a Splinter Cell. Do you know what I mean? Like a Splinter Cell Snake Eyes game, but make it like an open world, like Assassin's Creed type of S game. That might be interesting. Faceless Man is the Game of Thrones. Okay. Eclipse says Faceless Man actually sounds better, so let's go with that. All right, we will. I forget the actual thing. Great show. Great show. All right, chat. We do the daily grind Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. If you're watching over on Twitch, hit that follow button or hit the subscribe button if you'd like to as well. We do 24 episodes a month. We do 4 episodes a week, Monday through Thursday for the daily grind in the morning. We do 4 episodes of the Generation X Gaming podcast Thursday nights right here on 30 NSG. So to break it down, $5 gets you 20 cents basically per episode. So I do appreciate you very much if you want to go and do that. If not, you can go listen to the music that we do over on 30 NSG Topic, which is our music channel. There's also Nerding 30 and Jamming. You can also go to Spotify, listen to the music there. You can download it on iTunes and Google Play and anywhere else music is listened to. You can also listen to our podcast that we do over on Spotify, iHeart, and all the other places where that is also as well. So appreciate very much. Lots of things for you to listen to and watch us and support and comment and all that other stuff. Appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your day, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. We'll be back in about 45 minutes or so, 50 minutes or so over on 30 and Still Gaming to play some more Arc Raiders with Mr. Luke, and I'll see you guys then. Have a great day. Peace.
Yeah, from the mountains to the bay, from them back roads to Broadway, we all fly that same old flag, and we stand 50 stars strong. Let's ride, let's ride.
We 50 stars strong, wave that flag high, red, white, blue, freedom in the sky. From sea to shining state we roll, 50 hearts, one country soul. Hey, from the farms to the towns, from the ridge to the bay, can't nobody do it like the USA. Different roots but the same old song, from sea to shining state we 50 stars strong.
Started in Maine where the morning breaks. Down to Georgia where the peaches bake. Carolina charm, Tennessee sound. Sweet home roots in the red clay ground. Midwest fields in that southern drawl. Texas big, we stand tall. Oklahoma win, Kentucky soul. Heartland proud, we strike gold. Raise them up from the plains to the coast. We the kind of folks that love the most. From the Baja to the mountain lakes, we shine bright from state to state. Colorado high, Montana free. Wyoming skies in the evergreen. Nevada lights, Arizona flame. Utah rocks with a western name. Oregon rain, Washington pride. Cali dreamers with that ocean tide. Hawaii waves, Alaska cold. 50 stories, one flag we hold. Yeah, it don't matter where you're from. City block or track to run. We all bleed red, we all sing loud. This is home, this is proud. We 50 stars strong, wave that flag high. Red, white, blue, freedom in the sky. From sea to shining state we roll. 50 hearts, one country soul. From the fields to the towns, from the ridge to the bay. Can't nobody do it like the USA. Different roots but the same old song. From sea to shining state we 50 stars strong. From New York lights to that southern clay, to the Midwest grind and the California way. Every corner, every road we take, we carry that pride that won't break. We 50 stars strong, wave that flag high. Red, white, blue, freedom in the sky. From sea to shining state we roll. 50 hearts, one country soul. From the back roads deep to them city songs, we live, we love, we carry on. One nation, one dream all night long. From sea to shining state, we 50 stars strong. Yeah. From sea to shining state. Every mile, every town, every fate. We may be different, but we belong. 'Cause together we 50 stars strong.